Thank you again for joining us for Salisbury Comstead High School's open house. Our next presentation will be conducted by Mr. Grant Melnick, and it will be on athletics.
Good evening. My name is Grant Melnick. I'm the athletic director here at Salisbury, and I'm super excited to present our athletics program to you tonight. This is my 6th year teaching and coaching at Salisbury. I'm very proud of how competitive our program is compared to our other top schools across the province. With that being said, I'd like to comment on some features that Salisbury Athletics has to offer. The best thing about Sal Athletics is that we encourage multi-sport athletes. Last year, we recognized 75 of our student athletes that played more than one sport, and this is just outstanding. Currently, we offer 14 different sports that span our school year. Our school has been very successful in the Metro Edmonton division and provincially as well. Football is leading the charge with our junior team winning Div 1 Metro Cities the last 3 years. The senior football team finished second the past 2 seasons in Metro. As well, we are defending Metro and Alberta champions in girls handball, and our boys curling team finished second last year in Metro Division 1 league play. We have redone our Salisbury Athletics website to make it more user-friendly and to highlight what our program has to offer. To access our athletics website, please go to www.salcomp.ca and click on Menu and then Athletics. Once inside the website, you can access everything from current league schedules, team rosters, athlete of the month, alumni, athletes of the year, and tournament schedules. I do have one task for you to complete tonight. Please go to our athletics website and fill in the Google form on the main page. This form gives us your contact information so we can contact you regarding upcoming spring camp information. Lastly, our Sal teams compete in Division 1 leagues and are highly competitive in these divisions. We look forward to staying in Division 1 and competing for city championships and provincial banners for years to come. Now, if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Wow, what a glorious presentation. Thank you very much, Mr. Melnick. The first question I have for you is, what are the eligibility rules?
The eligibility rules for high school sports is that they have 3 years that they're able to play high school athletics, and that starts in grade 10, and every year after is one less until they're in grade 12, and that's their final year that they're able to play.
Thank you. Can grade 10 student athletes play on senior teams?
Absolutely. Grade 10 athletes, we've had many in the past that have played. They're eligible. Senior teams consist of students that are in grade 10, 11, and 12. Junior teams we also run, they consist of student athletes in grade 10 and 11. So some sports that we have junior teams in are football, volleyball, basketball, and handball. We run a senior and a junior team in all those sports. So those are good options for incoming grade 10 students.
Thank you. Could you explain what does season of play mean?
A season of play is the season that you're allowed to play that sport. And so for our sports, there's usually 1 to 2 games in a week, depending on that sport. Though basketball, volleyball, handball, and rugby, they all compete in the Edmonton League, the Metro Edmonton League, and they also compete in tournaments on the weekend. And so all sports, they run the league in Metro, and then those ones will run tournaments on the weekends. Yeah, all of our teams as well run 1 to 2 practices a week. So being in Division 1, that there is a large commitment, and practicing is important. So we hold that a high standard to that, and accompany with gameplay as well. So.
Thank you. Could you also tell me if students can play multiple sports at once?
It is a little tricky playing more than one sport at once. Like I said before, all of our sports are in Division 1, which we're very proud of, and we want to keep it that way. And in order to do that, it does require a lot of commitment from all of our coaches and our athletes. And so playing on two teams would be tough because you'd be taking something away from one of the teams that you're playing by not being there all the time. So we don't, it's not in stone, but it's kind of recommended that you select one or the other, and we have sports running the full school year. So if there's a sport that doesn't work for you at the fall, hopefully when that sport's finished, that you're able to participate once it's finished and the spring season begins. So,
thank you. Could you also tell me if Salisbury hosts any tournaments?
Yes, we host 3 volleyball, 3 basketball, and 2 handball tournaments. In our volleyball season, we'll run our senior and junior tournaments. We also run a junior high tournament, which is a great way for us to meet the incoming students and to kind of put a name to a face with that. And then same with basketball and handball. We do run a lot of tournaments when we are able to. So hopefully that continues in the fall.
And lastly, does Sal have a soccer team?
Sal does have a soccer team. We are in the works right now of every year we kind of start fresh and see what the interest is. And so soccer is always one of those sports where we're competing against club teams. And so right now we'll look in next year and see what the interest is and make a decision based on the interest level. So, yeah.
Wow. Tremendous work, Mr. Melnick. Greatly appreciated. And for those of you who are looking to contact Mr. Melnick, you can do so by email at grant.melnick@eips.ca. Are there any athletic clubs that one can take part in during lunch, or are they all after school?
The clubs that would kind of be relating to athletics would probably be archery. That would be something that would be club-based, where that would be participating weekly after school. At lunchtime, once we're in a COVID-free environment, we have intramurals that kids are able to play and participate in. Those are the main ones that I can think of. Yeah.
Thank you. Could you please explain the eligibility rules?
Eligibility, how it works is you get 3 years of high school eligibility. It starts when you enter grade 10, moves all the way up until you're in grade 12. And you get 3 years, and after those 3 years, your high school career that's over. We've been pretty lucky over the last 3 years, 4 years for sure, on pushing a lot of kids into post-secondary programs and teams, and I think that's pretty cool to be a part of that process. Yeah.
Thank you. Does Salisbury Compsted High School host any tournaments?
Yes, we do. We host volleyball, basketball, and handball tournaments throughout their seasons. We host junior and senior volleyball and a junior high tournament as well, and I think all 3 are awesome and create good school spirit in our gyms. And bring teams in from all over the province, high-level teams, all the way from Lethbridge and Calgary up north in Grand Prairie, and so it creates a pretty good competitive tournament. Yeah. Thank
you. Are there ways that Salisbury Compsted High School celebrates alumni?
Absolutely. It would have been last spring where we created a legacy wall that now, when we get students back in our building in tournaments and league games, you'll be walking by it to our large gym, and it showcases the rich tradition here at Salisbury over the past 50 years, and lots of old pictures. Will bring back hopefully a lot of memories for our fans and family when they come through the doors. We have alumni, post-secondary alumni lists on the wall as well from each decade, which I think is awesome that we're able to highlight the successes of a lot of those former players and teams, which Salisbury's had so many of.
Thank you. Do Salisbury teams travel to other cities, other provinces?
As of right now, not other provinces. We hope to be able to do those kinds of trips in the future, trips to BC and to other provinces where we'll get different competition. For our tournaments right now, though, we go to Lethbridge for volleyball and basketball and football. They've been to Lethbridge too for some exhibition games. It's awesome that we're able to see some South teams that we don't normally see in some of the more local tournaments and in our Metro League. So yeah, they're all high level. They're all Division I teams, and we're very competitive in those tournaments. And I think it's awesome that we're able to offer that to our teams and our athletes, that we're able to travel there. So.
Thank you. Are there any ways to purchase Salisbury Compson High School athletic attire, even if one is not going to be playing a sport?
Yes, we do provide throughout our year multiple Saberwear sales. That would be an option where you can purchase any types of hoodies or T-shirts. And we do have a sale right now as well where you can go to our website, and athletics website actually, so this would be something else on there. And there's some options for clothing that anybody can purchase, student, family member, friend, yeah. So those are some options.
Can students play multiple sports at once?
With the high level of commitment with our teams in Division I, we recommend that students stick with one team. It makes it really challenging to have a full commitment if you're at one sport one day and another the next. These teams are competing at such a high level that they need the practices, and you need to be a part of those. And so I would say that it's definitely, we don't say no, but it's definitely recommended that you try to pursue one in each season that you're allowed to.
All right, thank you. And lastly, in your opinion, what benefits are there for students who join school-based athletics teams?
Well, I think especially as a grade 10 coming into a high school, a new school, being a part of any club, whether that's anything that's been taught before with SAIL leadership, and especially with sports, I think that's a great way to get involved in a school and to meet new people from other junior highs that you might have competed against in the past. So I think getting involved somehow in the school is important. I'm in the phys ed athletics area, so I encourage as many people to be a part of that scene and to at least come to tryouts, and even if it doesn't work out where you make a team, you might make some connections and meet some people along the way that you might be friends with later on. And so it's just a great way to be involved in a school that's new to you. So.
Sensational work, Mr. Melnick. Thank you very much for the excellent responses to the questions posed to you today. For those of you who are interested in contacting Mr. Melnick, you can do so by email at grant.melnick@eips.ca.